Alrighty, so I'm back. It didn't look like I went anywhere, but I'm back, so that's cool. The news is here. I quickly did want to talk about the whole forums melting down really quickly because there's a couple people who've already asked me about it. If you haven't seen, there's basically a huge movement. I don't know about huge, but there is a movement to fix the newest patch, which is understandable. There are a lot of things in the new patch that are very weird, and the more that I looked into it after the JP patch notes and stuff like that came out, it looked even worse, and I'm not 100% sure on some of the decisions that they made, of course, but if you want to get your voice out there, obviously that's the best way to do it. You want to try to get the devs' attention and everything. And I mean, hey, who knows? I don't know if it'll go anywhere. Obviously, it'd be great if they could fix a couple of things, make things less pay to win, make things a little bit more fair. But at the end of the day, just depends on how much, I guess, attention the movement sort of gets. So I guess feel free to post forums, post on the Reddit. I don't know where all they look. I'm unfortunately not part of the Creators Club program, so it's not like I have like a rep or anybody from Netmarble that I can talk to or like relay the info to. So me specifically, I don't have anything that I can really do to sort of help the cause other than just like let you know that I guess it's going on. But I didn't want to make like a whole blown out video about it. I really don't like drama and stuff like that in gaming stuff. Like I just want to play the game. I really do. Like I understand. Like if you want to fight for it, absolutely do your thing. I'm completely understanding. I do agree with a lot of the points that people are making over the whole thing. Specifically, I think it's really dumb that the character is not on the 300 and 600 pity. I think people are kind of blowing that one a little bit out of proportion personally. Like I understand that it is kind of a big deal, and sometimes you get really shafted and you don't pull a whole lot of SSRs, and those guaranteeds are like a really good opportunity to get an SSR character or whatever. But I mean, it's not like he doesn't have lower rates like people are saying. He's still the same rates. You have, I guess, technically less odds of pulling the character because he's not on the 600 and the 300 mark, and that is understandable. He really should be. There's no point in a UR character being locked out of those. That is really stupid. So I don't really agree with that. But I mean, his rates are technically the same. I don't know. That's maybe me being a stickler for the details, but that's really dumb. I don't agree with that. The fact that he costs UR pendants is also a bit excessive, and the fact that he costs 21 more Super Awakening coins is obviously kind of stupid. Like, I guess I can understand where they were coming from with the whole thing, but the execution is pretty poor. Maybe they just thought that it would be fine, and it was kind of just an oversight on the devs' part. I don't know. Whenever I do read the dev notes, maybe I'm just getting bamboozled, but I really do think that the guy who writes the dev notes and stuff like that really cares. And he's the director of the game, but who knows? Maybe he's just a greedy man, and I'm too accepting of his words. But the other thing that really bothers me, at least about the new game mode, is that you can pay coins to reopen it, which is really stupid. If it was just like a weekly game mode where you just do it, everybody's on the same playing field, I would be okay with that. But the fact that it's you do it one time a week, and if you don't have the coins to reopen it, the people who do summon on banners a lot and stuff and just have a ton of extra, they just inherently get to farm it basically as much as they feel like. That's a little unfortunate. That's a bit bad. That's obviously going to make it to where they true awaken characters way faster than you, and that is of course very stupid. Whenever Super Awakening first came out, if you're unaware, they did make it to where you had to have the character whatever ult level to get them X amount of stars. So to get a character 6-star Super Awakened, you'd have to have the character 6/6, which was the original plan. That was obviously incredibly pay to win as well, and there was enough pushback on that one to where they kind of reversed that. They kind of messed with that a little bit. Hopefully, I mean, they'll sort of take a look at things, change them accordingly, make them a little bit more fair at the very least. I understand. I mean, it is a gacha game. I'm not expecting it to be completely fair, to be honest with you. Like, kind of like, the house always wins sort of thing. But it would be nice if it was fair. That's pretty much all I'm going to say. Sorry about the long rant or whatever. I'll put timestamps and everything if you just want to skip through different stuff. But yeah, the news is here. It is a 3-hour patch, which is kind of surprising considering how much stuff is in here. I was almost expecting a 4-hour patch, but it is 8 p.m., so should be 11 p.m. for me, which is kind of nice because that gives me a little bit of time to mess with it and do a live stream and everything like that before it gets super late. So if you want to come by and watch the summons and everything like that, I mean, I'm going to be summoning. I do make content on the game. It's not like I'm just going to, skip the banner and everything like that. But, yeah, we have, it's honestly a pretty big patch. There are some really cool stuff in this patch. But, yeah, there are a couple of weird things as well. I'll try to go over some of the corrections that I've learned from the JP patch notes coming out up until now. But we do have this new Demon King Meliodas, which is, it's funny that he's Demon King because it's technically just his title. He's not taken over by the Demon King at this point because there's like a taller version of this melee that's technically Demon King in like infesting his body or whatever you want to call it. So you can actually run Demon King with this character. You probably already know that though if you've watched any of the JP content, but he is a base UR character. He is blue, which a lot of people kind of blew that out of proportion. Personally, I don't really care that he's blue. I actually think that that's fine because some content actually makes you do less damage and, different things if the character's light or dark. Plus, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the light and dark buffs are for the whole team if you have a light or dark character on the team. And if you're running him on the Sins team, you're going to have a light character with Bond. If you run him on the Sins team, you're going to have a dark character with Demon King. So I think it's fine. I don't think light or dark buffs, stack or anything like that. I'm actually positive they don't. So if I'm not mistaken, I think you're fine. You have your bases covered with the two teams that you're basically going to be running him with. But I don't know. I understand. It's really weird that they would come out with a UR new coin for this character whenever light and dark characters have their own coins and they're super unusable basically. There's no light and dark coin shop. There's nothing you can trade those coins for. They're literally useless. Don't understand the point of them coming out with a new coin whenever the last coin that we have is still not really fleshed out or usable in a lot of ways. So not a big fan of that. I don't know. I mean, I don't think that there was a real reason to make this guy UR unless they were just hey, we want this guy to be a big new thing in the game, which obviously he's really good. But I guess they were just we want him to be, either red, blue, or green, but we don't want it to be super accessible. So they were if we lock him behind UR coin exclusivity, which is brand new that they came up with just for this, I don't know. I'm assuming that UR coins are going to be reserved for festival characters as well. I assume there will still be light and dark characters also. So who knows what the UR coins will even be good for, assuming nothing, considering they haven't done anything with light or dark coins. So there's a lot of weird stuff with this character, of course. Obviously I'm not super happy about it, but at the same time I just play the game to play the game. I'm not a wizard. I don't know. I'm just trying to have a good time with what I got here, I guess. Either way, chapter 29 is coming out, which is cool. This is actually a really, really cool chapter in the game, or in the story. We should be seeing a lot of really cool parts right here up until I think there was a couple loading screens that were in the game files or whatever with this patch for the very end of the show, moving into the chaos stuff, but I'm not 100% sure how far this chapter actually goes. I think you do maybe need to get actually I don't even know. I think it's 500 something for the new game mode if I'm not mistaken. You have to clear 593. Okay, so this isn't even I don't think this is even. Yeah, you'll unlock the new game mode before you even get to the chapter 29, which is nice. I was thinking you might have to fight the newest stuff, the newest chapter before you could unlock the game mode, but it seems like it's a couple of chapters ago, so that's at least kind of cool. There are new costumes for Melly. I actually do like all of his costumes. Not a big fan of the hair on this one, but I mean, you can't win them all. I actually think that his costumes are actually pretty well made. Most of the time I only like one of the costumes that the new characters end up getting, so that's at least kind of cool, I guess. There is this new True Awakening system, which is very interesting. I actually don't have an issue inherently with the True Awakening system itself, but just the fact that the game mode can be kind of like cheesed by, people who just like summon on more banners and stuff like that. I mean, I might be biased because I only summon for one rotation or one copy of the character depending on the banner, but I don't I don't have the coins to be investing into the new game mode to just reopen it over and over and over again. So I don't know. I'm sure a lot of you guys don't either, but at the same time, I don't think that there's necessarily a problem with True Awakening. The fact that it adds a whole new damage resistance buff or like stat is a bit odd. The 1000 CC doesn't actually seem all that crazy, so overall, I don't think that it's going to be like a massive game changer. Obviously, 10% damage resistance is kind of a big deal, but I feel like a lot of the times you end up like one-shotting characters with big, huge hits from like ults or whatever, or, obviously there are times where you'll be like just shy of killing somebody with a regular card and everything. So, I mean, there might be more of that going on where you're like, okay, I'm using all 3 of my attacks. The character just so happened to survive, which that could be really annoying. I don't know. We'll just have to kind of see. Hopefully they'll remove the infinite sort of, or like the reopening of the game mode. That's really my only issue, because I mean, if everybody's just doing it once a week, then it's all fair on the fact that everybody's doing it at the same time. Blah blah blah. I don't know. Maybe I'm not seeing the full picture there, but that's really the only issue I have with it. But you do have to have the character level 100 and SA6, which is completely understandable. Kind of like almost like the requirements for having the character. LR'd. It does take 10 LR coins. I think one of the things that people are kind of complaining about is that that's a lot of LR coins. I can kind of understand that. I think that because they don't do LRs so often, and I mean, I understand that some people are doing the lower difficulties and stuff, and you're not getting the LRs as soon as they come out and everything, but I feel like 10 wasn't really that big of a deal. I think there's like a little list of things that people were wanting changed with the Fix7DS sort of movement, I guess, and it was to move this down to 5. I mean, if they did that, that's great. I personally don't really have a big issue with it being 10. The True Awakening coins might be another issue, considering the fact that you'll have to spend Super Awakening coins or 60 of the gold coins, or I think it's 4 of the platinum coins to get one. If they locked it to where it was just once a week, then I don't think it would be an issue, because you'd still be gaining a decent amount of Super Awakening coins at the rate that we go. Like, I feel like I get a decent amount from like events that are going on, or just I think you get 1 per day from the dailies, and there's some other ways that you can get them from here and there. I get them from the tree, the World Tree Exchange Shop and stuff like that. It's basically what I go for every week because I've been working on Super Awakening the box. But I don't know. Maybe if you got these like little what are these called? Memory crystals. If you got them a lot slower, maybe it would be okay, considering that you'd be able to have more time to save up for it and everything. But I don't know. It's just kind of one of those weird things. Like, obviously, new stuff getting added to the game is good, in my opinion, because I mean, it gives me more to work on. It gives me more stuff to play. It gives me a reason to play the game. I get a little bit bored if I have a new system or a game mode to work on. That's fine. I'm completely okay with that. But when you make it a bit unfair, that is where it gets really annoying. So I understand people's gripes with it. So yeah, there is that. If I'm not mistaken, the game mode right here, you do gain these chests for beating it. You get 8 of them for whatever reason on Extreme, and then 17, which is a really weird number, on Hell. But I think the inside of it, you gain 2 of each of these, but it's not necessarily each one. Like, I think you gain like 6 or 7 I think it might be 6 of these drops, but I think it's random, because I think I've seen somebody open it and they got like 4 of the human ones and like 2 of the fairy ones and like some other ones or whatever. Like, it doubled up on one of them and it didn't give them a different one, or whatever the case may be. So the fact that this is completely random makes it kind of weird, because there's also like fairy and giant races, for example, are much smaller in terms of units than some of these other races are. Like, humans is so big. Like, there's so many human units. There's a lot of unknown units. There's a decent amount of goddess and demon units. So I don't know if they would need to make it to where you could king exchange these, to where if you just get unlucky and you're like, I have 1,001 of these fairy ones, like, I think it would be kind of a no-brainer to let people exchange those for a race that they actually wanted, because there's not that many fairy characters, and you know, it would be better to prioritize maybe more useful characters, considering at the moment there's really no good fairies. So bit unfortunate there. But the new game mode itself actually looks kind of cool. I kind of like the gimmick of it. I've seen some gameplay and stuff, and it actually looks kind of interesting. I'm definitely like looking forward to playing with it. I don't know, I did see that Hell was pretty hard, but I also seen that there's some sort of like unknown team that can do really well, or solo it or something like that. But it also requires Albedo, which is a bit odd considering that she's a collab character who's a bit more exclusive. Like, I don't know what other strategies people will come up with. Normally, whenever the global update drops, people are a little bit more, you know, experimental with their teams and stuff. I'm sure people will come up with new stuff, or like new teams for this game mode, of course. But the game mode itself, I don't necessarily have an issue with. I actually think that it looks kind of cool. But this part right here, where you can open it again, that's where I am kind of drawing the line a bit. But if you don't know, basically he just puts up like 3 different sets, or like he puts up a rule where it's like, hey, you need to use speed card, a strength card, and then another speed card or something like that. But he can go through all 3 of the different elements and stuff like that. I think that's one of the biggest reasons why they wanted Melee to be blue instead of light or dark, because he can contribute to this new game mode. And then I think in Hell difficulty, it even goes to like, you need to use like a level 3 card, a level 2 card, and then a level 1 card, or like different kinds of like variations of like leveled cards, which is very interesting. So from my understanding though, once you like, if you complete the rule, it ranks up your cards and stuff like that. So it should kind of play into itself a little bit. I'm very interested to see sort of how it pans out a little bit and what kind of teams people come up with. But there are 2 new cards for the new game mode, I guess, which is fine. I guess you only get them on Hell difficulty apparently, which is a bit odd. We do have 2 new relics with Infinity Merlin, and we have Hawk. Hawk's is pretty minimal. It's all stat increase of 10%, which is fine, I guess, but Hawk is pretty bad, so it doesn't really matter. Merlin, on the other hand, did not really get what I was hoping. She's definitely a debuff character, so it kind of sort of plays into her kit, but they really just made her a backliner unit for the Sins team, which is a bit odd. And somebody pointed out that with max stacks of the Festival Zeldris' passive, you can actually get more basic stats than the Merlin relic, which is a bit unfortunate. I guess the only caveat to that is that you just get a 15% basic stat increase just straight up with Merlin, and then on top of that, per debuff on the enemy, you get 3% damage reduction, basically. So that's kind of nice. I think that there's a lot of cleansing and stuff like that in the meta. This new melee cleanses after a certain amount of attacks and stuff. Demon King cleanses on turn 2, basically. Angels have a cleanse, potentially 2 if they're, for whatever reason, using like LR or Liz, which I don't think you're really going to run into. But there's quite a lot of cleansing in the meta with some of these new characters. So unfortunately, they have once again released this character, or like done something with this character in a very weird way, or like a weird timing. So just not like, you know, like I'm pretty sure whenever she originally came out, Mael came out that following February, and the Goddess team was cleansing all the debuffs again, and then Perg Melee came out, and then he was cleansing off the debuffs. You literally can't, unless you've already popped True Magic with Perg Melee, there was no way to even pop her passive on him, which was really stupid. I don't know. Debuff characters are incredibly hit or miss when it comes to that kind of thing, so I really love debuff characters, but they just always make the meta a terrible time for them, so that's unfortunate. The regular coins, or the regular festival coin shops sort of thing is coming back, of course. At this point, there's so many light and dark characters, and apparently now there are UR characters that are probably not ever going to be added to the regular festival coin shop, which is very unfortunate. So a lot of these units are pretty old. I would say if I was going to pick any of them, Merlin is obviously a halfway decent option because she just got a relic. Deanne is also a halfway decent option because she is used for the Sins team, which you might be using the new melee with. Margaret is a pretty decent option if you don't have her maxed out. I'm kind of hoping that I can pull a couple of copies of some festival characters, but I don't remember if there's any light. No, there's Deanne in the banner, and I want to say there's maybe another non-light or dark character. I'm not 100% no, I think Esterosa's on the banner as well, so that's actually nice. If I could pull a couple of copies of those, I could maybe get my 6th copy finally of Margaret. But Margaret is really nice to have 6/6, so that would be cool. Esterosa is also kind of a big deal for the demon team, so if you want to grab a copy of him or something like that, you could potentially go that route if you want to run melee on the demons. Einik is coming back for global. We have new ticket bundles and stuff like that for the new year, which they tend to do better value and stuff like that when it comes to the new year banners. So some of these actually might be decent bundles if you want to spend money on it, but with so much controversy in the game at the moment, I really don't think a lot of people are going to be compelled to spend money, and that is completely understandable. If the game's not doing what you think is right, then supporting them monetarily might not be the best option. But do as you wish. There are power-up bundles, of course, as well. So I mean, if you want the extra 2% to pull an SSR. Be my guest. I don't recommend it. Some of these bundles are pretty okay. They are bringing lucky bags back again, so this will be basically 2 in a row. They do have a new weekly bundle, or a new 7-day bundle or whatever. This is kind of nice. I do like weekly bundles quite a bit, so this will be an extra hourglass, which would be nice. You do get an extra multi here for the banner, which is cool, and then a couple of other nice things in here, which is I do like some of this stuff, so I might end up buying that one. I'm not too sure yet. We'll have to see. System updates, they are expanding box CC buffs all the way up to 20 million, which is insane. I don't think anybody is past... maybe people are up to 17.5 at this point, because I think Gon's account is... at I think 17.1 or 2. I could be wrong on that, and I haven't messed with it in a while, so he might be a little bit higher with some of these new characters out. And I mean, I'm sure he's always working on gear, but I don't think anybody's quite to 18 million yet. But I'm sure it's only a matter of time. Item storage capacity increase from 135 to 140, so an extra 5, woohoo. Use diamonds to increase your storage capacity to a maximum of 550. I can't remember what the max was before this, but I'm still at 325, so I don't really care that they've extended this. Obviously, as new materials and stuff like that come out, like if all of these new memory crystals or whatever for each race are in my inventory, which I assume they will be, I'm probably going to have to expand my storage at some point in the near-ish future, but who knows. Legendary seals limit has been increased to 200, so now you can have LR seals past 100, which is really nice, because now I think my plan is to just sit at 100-ish and then use my extra seals for whatever happens, so I can use anything above 100 for, like, True Awakening whenever I get the opportunity to do that. I doubt it'll be anytime soon, but because we only get an LR character like once every 2 months or so, I'm just going to make sure that I have enough for each LR character when they drop, and then anything extra is going to go towards True Awakening, I guess. So I don't know, we'll see. But like I said, if I'm only able to do the game mode once a week and I'm not spending for extra, plays, then I think it'll probably be a while. So who knows? Additional GP for enhancement, or costume enhancement. So you acquire 1 GP for enhancing UR and LR costumes to their max now. So that's pretty nice, actually. I think that this is actually going to be a really big boost to a lot of whales and just people who've invested into their characters, of course. I think more than anything, it kind of hurts the free-to-play players a bit because, I mean, like, you're still going to be getting a boost out of it, of course, but, a lot of the times, like, with, like, whales, dolphins, anybody who's spending some money on the game, like, you'll buy UR cosmetics and stuff like that for the characters when they drop, and I'll tend to max out any of my festival characters or like really useful characters a lot. So I assume that I'll get a halfway decent chunk of GP for this, but I feel like free-to-play players who have to wait 2 weeks before they can even spend gems to buy costumes, a lot of the seasonal costumes are locked behind paid only now, which is really stupid. You might not be getting nearly as much of a benefit out of this, which is unfortunate because it's going to drive even further like wedge. Like there's going to be an even bigger gap in between like the free-to-play players and like the people who are spending money on the game, which is not really what I would call good. So that is a bit unfortunate. Starting grade UR Heroes Edition. So starting grade UR Heroes will be added. So Melee is obviously the first one. Starting grade UR Heroes require slightly more currencies for Limit Break and Super Awakening. So if you don't know, every 5 levels where you get the character from 60 to 65 to 75 to 85 to blah, 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 every single 5 levels is going to cost you 1 UR pendant. So he takes 10 UR pendants to get to level 100, which is really excessive. I think that is kind of ridiculous. ridiculous. I guess the only caveat to that is that there is going to be a new coupon code. I cannot remember what it is off the top of my head. If I, for whatever, I probably won't end up finding it or whatever before this goes out. But if you remember what that is, please post it down in the comments or something. That's actually going to give you, I think, 35 pendants, if I'm not mistaken, 35 SSR pendants. So you might be able to just convert a lot of those over. That should help out quite a bit. And then there's a new, it costs 84, I think, 84 Super Awakening coins to completely max out the character Super Awakening wise, if you're 1/6. So that is an additional 21 SSR SA coins that you need, which I guess the caveat to that is every 7 days with the new login event that we're getting with this update, you're going to be getting Super Awakening coins, and quite a few of them at that. So, I mean, I think in their head, they were like, okay, we're going to roll this patch out. They're going to cost more materials, but we're also giving them more materials to sort of make up for it at the same time. But obviously, they're not going to be doing that every single time a character comes out, and it's just going to become like the new norm. And I think that's what people are afraid of, maybe. I don't know. Either way, you can't use one-step evolution event tokens on grade SSR or UR heroes. That's really dumb. I mean, you really... I assume they're doing that so you can't circumvent the fact that you need to use UR pendants, which is kind of the big deal here. But, I don't know. It just seems like an unnecessary, like, force of, like, extra mats. I don't know. Just kind of dumb. A new category of UR hero coins will be added to the coin shop. Not sure why. They're never going to update the coin shop, so seems redundant to me. Welcome back hero missions and reward changes. So we're going to be getting, I think it's just a bunch of missions that you do. I've never seen this one before. Acquire Fight Festival normal points. That is actually very interesting. I don't think I've ever seen them do something like that specifically. That seems like a lot of points. I don't know if they're going to be improving the amount of points that you get during this event. I can only assume they are, but that sounds like a lot. 1,800? Or maybe that's just like maybe this will already be done if you're like Champ 1 or something like that, or like Champ 5, because I think you need, I can't remember how many you need. Maybe they're just wanting you to like rank up if you're a newer player. I'm not 100% sure. This is weird. I've never seen it like this before, but there's some okay stuff in here. Nothing too crazy besides like a UR pendant right here, but the rest of this is kind of meh. Some of the enhancement or cosmetic enhancements are somewhat nice. I don't even have all three in here for whatever reason, which is odd, unless I'm just missing one. I don't think I am. That's a bit weird. The True Awakening coins will be converted in the coin shop, by the way, or you can use King Exchange for this one. You can either do 12 SA coins for one True Awakening coin, or you can go to the coin shop and use 4 Platinum coins or 60 SR coins, gold coins, for one True Awakening coin, which is a bit odd. Or, well, I guess it's not odd. I mean, I guess that just is what it is. But, I don't know. SA coins are already incredibly... I mean, I don't want to say incredibly hard to get, but, like, they're pretty tight budget. Like, you really have to be careful with your SA coins already. Like, I really don't have that many extras to work on my box maybe as much as I would want to, but I think it's like a slow process where they don't want you to completely max out your box, super fast, because then you don't have anything to work on, kind of thing. It's like a weird balancing act. I've talked about this in the past, but I don't know. With this whole new system in place, it's going to put even more strain on the SA coins, which I think is maybe not that great. But it's as often as you're going to be able to True Awaken a character, I don't know. We'll see, I guess, or hopefully if they do any changes, that might alleviate some of that. There is a new summon animation for Demon King Meliodas. It actually looks really cool. I think you're only guaranteed to get the animation if you pull the character in a multi. And so I think a lot of people probably aren't going to end up seeing the summon animation. But then again, I think the odds are supposed to be like roughly 1 Meliodas in a rotation. I think if you're looking at it statistically, I could be wrong on that. I'm not a statistics guy. But the new animation does look really cool. I've seen a couple of different videos showing it, and it's great. I like the new animation. It looks very cool. I love new animations. They're just... I wish they would do them more often, honestly. There is this new check-in event, which I was talking about earlier. There is 300 diamonds in here, which is fantastic. You actually get 2 multis worth of diamonds on just day 1, which I think is really cool. And then every 7 days, you're going to gain either 100 or 50 SA coins, which is huge. Honestly, that's crazy. Like I said, I assume this is to kind of help alleviate the new True Awakening system, but like I said, yeah, it's probably going to be few and far between whenever you actually get to do a True Awakening, so I guess I'm just going to try to help Super Awaken the rest of my box with some of these, and then I'll just save some for whatever, but yeah, these are pretty good. I mean, it's a 1 month long, you know, login event. The festival does last for an entire month, so make sure that you're, you know, logging in to grab these at the very least, I guess. Special missions for the new banner. So you get 1 multi for free. You get 10 diamonds as the big reward, and then just some other small stuff like as the other rewards for doing the missions themselves. We have the lucky raffle drum, which is back. This always ends up getting sort of cheesed, which is unfortunate. It's basically just like, hey, we have this giant pool of diamonds, and you basically roll. I think it's once a day. I could be wrong on that. When all rewards are claimed, the event is over. Only participate when you reach rank 20. Okay, so the big problem with this is that a lot of people were making brand new accounts and just rolling for this, trying to get a bunch of diamonds and then selling the account and stuff, which is obviously not good. Okay, so you get 3 spins a day. And there are 20 different chances to get the 1,000 diamonds. But, I mean, hey, there's a really good amount of odds here to gain at least some diamonds, which is nice. So, hopefully, you guys can get lucky and pull some of these. Obviously, I mean, I'm okay with Super Awakening coins and anvils as well. So, I mean, I'll take whatever I can get, I guess. But obviously, diamonds are the better win there. But, yeah, make sure you're doing these because as soon as all of the rewards that they're willing to give out are taken up, like once they've had all these winners, the event is over with. And for Global, because there's a lot more players than the JP and the KR versions, it ends up going through maybe like a couple of days. Like, I think it'll last less than a week if it's anything like last time. I can't remember exactly how many days it lasted, but it goes by pretty fast on Global, so be aware of that. There is this Leonis chessboard sort of game mode that they brought back. I actually kind of like this game mode. I think this one's okay. It's a little tedious, and it takes a decent amount of time to sort of get through it. But as long as there's nothing like super crazy that you're like absolutely wanting or like right this minute, it's just kind of a fun game mode that you can kind of check on from time to time. It seems like the rewards themselves aren't anything too crazy. As you upgrade your sort of like buildings, you have 4 different buildings to upgrade. You're going to gain different materials here. These are your entry tickets, I think. Yeah, so I think you use these to upgrade your stuff, and then these orbs right here, if I'm not mistaken, they've been themed the last couple of times that we've had this, and I think you use it as like solar power right here on this one. I'm not sure if it's still going to be considered solar power in this one, but it's basically going to be like a big move that's going to completely like destroy a space, so it just insta kills it. You don't have to spend a bunch of time on it. So that's kind of cool. I think that these are the only rewards that you get from it. Well, actually, you get small rewards from like clearing different tiles, but I think these are maybe the big ones. Was there supposed to be other? I think there's like big boss stages on here as well. Do they not have the rewards for that? I don't guess they do. They are doing another event boss parade. This is just special event boss battle, they've said. But we're going to get Kimara, and I can't remember this dude's name. Oh, it's Aboru. So we're going to have those two. We're going to get these rewards from clearing it up to 20 times. The event exchange shops are going to have 20 LR seals in here, so that is cool. I mean, they have been pretty generous with the LR seals. Hopefully, if you at least were playing during the last festival, you've been able to get enough to sort of grab a couple LR characters or something, because they've been giving out quite a bit. So some other stuff in here. The Meliodas costume right here is really nice because it works on the new Meli, if I'm not mistaken, as well. So that is pretty cool. Artifact Wish event is back, so if you have been missing any of the cards that they have in the listing for this, I can't remember exactly which ones they're trying to bring back this time, but if you already have them all, just try to grab whatever highest rarity cards you can, so that way they turn into plate cards and you can upgrade your artifact sets. Pretty self-explanatory sort of system they've got going here. If you don't have the card, go for the cards you don't have, so that way you can grab them. And if you already have all the cards, just grab the biggest card you can, so that way you can upgrade your other stuff. So that's fine. These are the currencies that you use to get into it. We have Underground Labyrinth Season 8. I cannot read. This Hell outfit was actually leaked like 2 months ago, or like maybe even longer than that. I think it was longer than that, actually. But really, really cool outfit. Glad that this is finally in the game, so pretty happy about that. And then on top of that, it's basically just a regular sort of labyrinth. I don't think that there's anything different about this one. I haven't seen anything about it on the JP side of things, so I assume that it's the same as like older ones. Hopefully it's not like the last one that we had, because that one was a bit unfortunate where they didn't have a depths added and you had to do everything on the main like 3 floors, which was really annoying. So hopefully the depths are back. I assume they are. But on top of this new outfit being in here, there are 50 LR seals in the exchange shop instead of just 20, which is kind of big. Like 50's kind of a lot. So that's honestly really, really nice. They do still have the Bond and the Meliodas costume in here if you want either of those. You just have to obviously farm up the currencies to get them out of the shop. So that's cool. I guess if you already have them, you could technically do it for some cosmetic enhancement materials, but I think it's only 7 per piece. So, I mean, if it's worth that to you, then maybe go for it. But I don't know, it might be a lot of farming that you have to do. We have the chapter clear event, so if you've cleared chapters 25, 26, 27, and 28, you will gain rewards for clearing those. So if you haven't worked on that at all, maybe you could do it during this this festival. I know that some of these missions can be really hard. Some of the Demon King fights are incredibly ridiculous sometimes. And even, I think maybe before these, there's like the OG demon fights, which can be really annoying. Just kind of work on your characters, work on some gear maybe. I don't know. Some of it can be incredibly specific. Sometimes there's cheese methods that people come up with. It is quite a bit. So, you know, do what you can. You don't have to stress over it or anything. Obviously, it would be kind of nice to grab some of these materials, but it's not the end of the world. You can take it at your own pace. So Fort Solgres Reward Dungeon is back. There's going to be a diamond for it for the first week, I assume. First week? Actually, first 2 weeks. So that's actually really nice. You're going to get 14 free gems out of this, which is cool. So make sure you're doing that. It's only 1 gem a day, or not gem, 1 stamina a day. So that's really, really nice. There's a diamond perk event, so like a payback rewards event, where if you spend X amount of diamonds during the festival, you're actually going to get different rewards. I have seen that people are a bit upset that the SSR costume that this new Melly would get if he was an SSR grade hero is locked behind 900 diamonds. I also think that that's pretty stupid. Locking an outfit is kind of dumb. I guess on the other hand, like, he has the Power Ranger outfit and the King outfit that I think, I'm not actually 100% sure on the Power Ranger one, but I know that the King outfit does work for the new Melly. So you won't be like completely down bad, I guess, if you don't have this one, but obviously, if you're like a free-to-play player and you're not spending money on the game or anything, you're going to have to wait 2 weeks before you can buy his other outfits, which might end up being kind of stupid because, I mean, if you could have this one, then, you know, there would be one less costume that you kind of have to worry about. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. It is kind of stupid that they locked that behind it. He, as a UR grade character, I guess he should just already come with that, or it should already be UR. Who knows? I mean, it would be awesome if it was a UR costume, and then because he gets a different costume normally at a UR, then he should just maybe have both costumes. I don't know. They could have done so many things to make it like a little bit more convenient or like feel good, but they have done a lot of things with UR characters to make it feel bad, and that is not great. So as you spend diamonds, of course, this is for the whole festival, by the way. Somebody was pointing out that you know, they were going to pull for 1 copy of Melly and then see who the half festival banner is, because there's two banners that come out during a festival. The second banner is normally a 600 banner, and then they were like, okay, well, I'll pull 1 copy of Melly, see who that one is. If it's good, I'll pull for that one. Maybe I can get 900 diamonds spent. It also goes for cosmetics and stuff like that, which I think the cosmetic sale is going to be going on until the end of January on Global. So if you need to buy any costumes or anything like that, that'll also go towards this. Any diamonds you spend in the game while this is going on will go towards it. So at least you've got that. I mean, obviously it's not an ideal situation. This really shouldn't even be there, but hopefully you can get to that point. It looks like they are bringing more costumes back for the costume discount event as well. So it looks like these, I think these were April, like Easter costumes or whatever. I actually really still like the Deanne one quite a bit, but if you need either of these, I would assume you probably don't need the Melee one, because if you're summoning for the new Melee, he's probably going to directly replace Purgatory Melee. They are bringing back the spring outfit for Mael and the Margaret one. I actually do like the Margaret one, but I have so many outfits for her. It's ridiculous. She has so many cosmetics. King Exchange Event is back, so if you need to exchange any of those things right here, feel free to do so. I look forward to this probably more than most people do, just because there's a lot of nice things that you can get out of this event. So I trade a lot of my like rare pendants and stuff. Just kind of nice to get rid of like some of the bulk stuff that I actually hold on to. But festival boosting stuff, they always do this pretty much every single festival. You need to pause it and read over these. You can. They just boost a lot of different things during festival time, so that way it can be a little bit more convenient for you. Lucky Bag event is back, like I said, so this is basically going to be a reset version of the one we just had in the Queen Elizabeth Festival, so the exact same stuff. Nothing crazy there. Item Shop Special Sale event is going to be reset as well, so we just got this introduced in the latest Queen Elizabeth Festival, and now they're basically just going to be resetting it. So if you want these 35 pendants for 30 diamonds again, which I bought, I might actually buy this again, because that is really nice value, so I might try to grab that. I don't know, you can grab any of this other stuff if you really want to. I don't think that the value is really quite there for the rest of this stuff. I'm not a big fan of the rest of these bundles. I don't really plan on buying any of them. But the SSR pendants one is kind of it's kind of enticing. But anyway, in-game ad rewards event. So they're going to be increasing it to where you can watch 5 ads a day instead of 3, and you get 2 draws. 2 free draws on the like 7 Deadly Sins banner or whatever they call it. Per day, so that's cool. You can watch an ad for those. 1 new battle event, and it looks like that is pretty much it. So yeah, it's a very controversial patch, I would say. There's a lot of things going on here. Obviously, some of it I really like. I'm glad that Labyrinth is back. I mean, the new Meliodas is really cool. I like him. I like the new summon animation. The new game mode looks fun, and I'm definitely interested in trying it. But some of the small stuff that sort of like make up the big parts of the patch itself are a bit underwhelming or even bad, to the point to where people are definitely upset about it. So I completely understand if you are, you know, in the boat. I'm rooting for you. I'm there with you. I really do hope that they end up changing some of this stuff to at least make it a little bit more fair. But we will see how it goes. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Feel free to subscribe if you have not already. This one was incredibly long, so if you made it all the way to the end, I don't know, leave me a little apple emoji or something in the comments. But yeah, I will be live whenever the banner drops tomorrow night. Happy New Year's. Thank you for watching, and I will see you later.